in the UK, I think you're much more evolved on the gaming side than we are, certainly in Canada and even in the US. Give us a summary of what's permitted in the UK.
Well, the old adage, all bets are off. I mean, we've had gambling associated with sports and books made since sport began. And I find it really interesting when I read into this from the UK and not just all the noise and the sort of hoo-ha, but we joked at lunchtime. This goes back to a course that I took in Texas. I went to law school in Austin at UT, and constitutional law. This is all about economic analysis, and rather than state by state, really it's been all about where do you put the kink in the hose, and quite rightly touched on data. This really becomes around economic analysis and how much money is in a system. And so when I sort of traded out of a career in law and moved into strat management consultancy, really the analysis is about value, and then how do you regulate. And a lot of sports administrators in the UK have struggled to keep up with technology. So take tennis as an example. They're in the process of establishing an independent tennis integrity unit. The top level of tennis is not an issue because the cameras are on. But outside of I think there's some analysis I read recently, the top 200 or so men and the top 120 odd women, it's very difficult to break even as an athlete. So lower down on the satellite tours and the different places where there are no cameras, but the data provision has gone all the way through the game, the administrators have struggled to keep up with a structure that the lawyers, and we have some eminent Queen's Counsel who have analysed this and said the administrators have fallen short. So I think the really interesting bit from a gaming and gambling point of view is how do you keep up with technology, and how do you perform the right type of economic analysis that says there is money in the system. And the really interesting bit to me, or the bit that makes me laugh, it's not as if gambling is new to the US. As far as I'm aware, it's just been kept to very specific places. And so this then becomes political, which I completely stay away from. But I think that the simple analysis is we've had gambling associated with sport since sport began. And I don't think there's any issue with it as long as it's handled properly, and the Gambling Commission, through the Gambling Act, licenses this so that the money not only flows through the sport, but you don't get people trying to fix the books and create false markets.